My name is Stephanie Anderson, and this is my persuasive speech on sunscreen. And this is my audience. I'm going to be passing out handouts. Thank you. Did you know that having one or more sunburns throughout your life can increase your risk of having skin cancer? Sunscreen is vital to the health of skin, and people need to be educated on wearing sunscreen and on skin cancer so that they can protect themselves. Sun protection is an important health issue that affects everyone in the United States and in the world. It is of dire importance that you use sunscreen. While sunscreen is the most important protective factor that you can use, you can also seek shade, and it is important to wear protective clothing. The FDA has recently changed regulations on sunscreen. The words sweatproof and waterproof will no longer appear on sunscreen bottles and cans. Drug facts and ingredients will now be placed on the back of every bottle, and it will only be labeled broad spectrum if it protects against UVA and UVB radiation. Many people do not know the difference between UVA and UVB radiation. UVA radiation and UVB radiation in a combination form skin cancer. UVB radiation is what causes sunburns. Some general characteristics of sunscreen include that they protect against UVA and UVB radiation. That is very important. They also have an SPF, which means sun protection factor, of greater than 15. If they do not have at least 15 SPF, they are not adequate to protect you against UVA and UVB. The words "lasts all day" will no longer appear on sunscreen bottles and cans as well, because that is not true. You must reapply sunscreen every 2 hours, no matter what you are doing. Many people ask, could I get skin cancer? Skin cancer is the most common of all cancers in the world. Last year, in the United States, in 2010 alone, there were 2 million cases of non-melanoma skin cancer. There are also 70,000 cases of melanoma skin cancer, which is the more serious and dangerous of the skin cancers. Many people may ask what the differences are between non-melanoma and melanoma skin cancer. Non-melanoma skin cancer starts in either the basal cell or the squamous cell layer of your skin, which is the outer layer. It develops in sun-exposed areas such as your ears, your neck, your skin, anywhere on your skin, your lips, and your hands. They can be fast or slow growing, but they are usually slow growing. They rarely metastasize, which means that they do not spread to other parts of your body. They are highly curable if they are detected early, which is a good sign. Melanoma, on the other hand, is cancer that begins in the melanocytes, which is a layer of your skin that produces pigment or melanin. Melanin helps protect the deep layers of your skin from UV radiation, so if your melanocyte layer gets damaged, that is not very good. It is curable if it is detected early. Although melanoma is less common than non-melanoma, it is more dangerous and more serious and leads to more skin cancer deaths than non-melanoma does. There were 70,000 cases of melanoma last year in the United States alone, and most of the 12,000 skin cancer deaths in the United States were due to melanoma. It is more likely to spread or metastasize to other parts of your body. 84% of melanoma is localized, which means it stays in one area of your skin. However, that means that 16% is not localized and spreads to other organs. This can be fatal. It is less treatable than non-melanoma because it is usually detected later. It is harder to see on your skin, and therefore people do not report it early enough. There are many risk factors for skin cancer. The most common is overexposure to UV radiation from being outside too much and not using sunscreen. If you have a fair complexion, that is also a risk factor. If you are exposed to occupational hazards such as coal, tar, radium, or arsenic, that can lead to skin cancer. If you have a family history of skin cancer, if you have atypical or multiple moles, and if you've had one or more sunburns as a child, those can all increase your risk of having skin cancer. Many people ask, how do I tell if I have skin cancer? My main advice to you is to go see a dermatologist. You should look for changes in your skin. Like the handout that I handed you earlier, these demonstrate the ABCDs for skin cancer. A stands for asymmetry, which means that one half is different than the other half. B stands for border irregularity, which means the edges are notched, uneven, or blurred. C stands for color, which is the color is uneven or has shades of brown, tan, and black. D is for diameter, if the diameter is greater than 6 millimeters. If you have any of these, then you should definitely go get checked out by a dermatologist. In conclusion, many people don't think of sunburns as serious, but the more that you've had, the greater the chance you'll have of getting skin cancer. It is your responsibility to take control of your body. I'm going to leave you with a few ways that you can prevent skin cancer. You need to avoid the sun between peak hours of 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. when the sun is strongest. You need to routinely seek shade outside and follow the shadow rule. If your shadow is shorter than you are, then the sun is strongest and you should stay out of it. You should put on a protective shirt that you can acquire at sporting goods stores. And you should put on hat and sunglasses to protect your eyes, your ears, and your neck. You need to put on sunscreen of an SPF that is greater than 15. And also, you should not forget to put on lip balm with an SPF greater than 15 on your lips to protect them. You need to reapply sunscreen every 2 hours, even if it is overcast outside. You also need to avoid tanning beds. Lastly, you should see a dermatologist if your mole looks different. The earliest you detect abnormalities, the better chance of survival you will have against skin cancer. Now I will go to question and answer period.
If you plan to go outside, when should you apply sunscreen?
You should apply sunscreen at least 30 minutes before going outside.
If you stay inside most of the time, do you need to wear sunscreen?
You do need to wear sunscreen. Sun can penetrate through windows, through office buildings, through anywhere, so you really need to wear sunscreen no matter if you go outside a lot or not.
What is the highest SPF available in sunscreen?
The highest SPF available is 100, but anything over 50 does about the same job.
A lot of people get their vitamin D from the sun. How can people get vitamin D in other ways?
You can get vitamin D from taking supplements that you can buy at grocery stores or like CVS or Walgreens, but women need to be careful about taking excess vitamin D because that can cause breast cancer.
What are the sports most missed when applying sunscreen?
Most missed are your ears and your neck, and if you are balding, the top of your head. Everyone needs to remember to put sunscreen there.
When should you start wearing sunscreen?
You should start applying sunscreen as soon as you learn about it. It is important if you are parents to put it on your children as soon as you can, and it's just important to wear it every day and get into a routine. Well, thank you very much for listening to my speech.